When it comes to considering the question, what, we are going to turn our attention to what information is actually included in the source we're considering. You cannot consider this evaluation criteria without having a clearly defined research topic or research question. For our example for this evaluation criteria, let's consider the following research question. Gun control laws, including those that try to ban assault weapons, infringe upon the right to own guns under the Second Amendment. We want to look at how well any particular source covers this topic and how well it answers our research questions. This question determines each source's relevance to your research needs. Let's start out by considering a book I found in the UA Library's catalog. This book is called The Second Amendment and Gun Control: Freedom, Fear, and the American Constitution. Just from the title, I can determine that both gun control and the Second Amendment are the focus of this book. The catalog record for this book actually gives me a lot of information about the content, even before I get my hands on the book. This record includes the book's table of contents and subject headings. From here, I can look to see if assault weapons are included in any of the chapter headings. It is possible that the book does address assault weapons, but it might not have an entire chapter on them. So let's take a look at the contents. I can go ahead and read over these, and at first glance I see that they have a lot to do with gun rights and the Second Amendment, but I really don't see anything specifically about assault weapons. If I examine the subject headings, I see that there's the United States, Constitution, Second Amendment. I see that it covers firearms, law and legislation in the United States, and gun control in the United States. But I really don't see anything that really focuses on the actual assault weapons. So something I can do, I could go ahead and get the book and look at it and examine the index in the back of the book. But if I don't want to wait for that, I can go ahead and look at the book on Amazon and see if there's more information there. Now for this example, in the Amazon record, I see that there is the look inside this book feature. I can open this up. And now I have the option to look at the table of contents, which I've already looked at. I could look at a couple pages, but what I'm most interested in are the index pages that they let us view before we purchase the book or track the book down. From here, I can look to see if the book covers any specific parts of my research question. For example, I see that assault weapons is listed on several pages in addition to the federal assault weapons ban. So after applying the what evaluation criteria, I can see that this particular book may not have a lot of specific focus concerning the idea of assault weapons, but it may offer some comprehensive information about specific gun laws, as well as the Second Amendment, which may be helpful for background information and help me fill portions of my research paper outline. And it may have a little bit of information on assault weapons. So I'm probably going to go ahead and take a look at other sources as well. Let's take a look at another source and see how it holds up to the what criteria for our research question. This time, let's take a look at a journal article. This journal is called Assault Weapon Bans: Unconstitutional Laws for a Made-Up Category of Firearms. And I see that it's out of the Harvard Journal of Law and Public Policy, and it's relatively recent, spring of 2020. From this detailed view of the article's database record, the first thing we can examine are the subject headings, just like we did with the book. This article has subject headings that include assault weapon laws, gun laws, and then a specific Supreme Court case, District of Columbia v. Heller, as well as civil rights in the United States. The heading suggests that this article will focus on assault weapon laws and gun laws in addition to civil rights. So at this point, the article does look good for offering relevant coverage for my specific research questions. Next, I want to examine the abstract or the summary of the article. This abstract confirms what the subject headings already revealed, that this article will focus on challenges to assault weapon bans and the specific Supreme Court case and the Second Amendment. At this point, we could consider this article as having good potential for satisfying the what criteria, and we should consider opening up the full text to consider it further. Both of these sources are written at an appropriate level for college-level research papers, and both sources focus on the United States, and therefore offer the correct geographic coverage that I'm looking for. Therefore, these two sources will likely be two sources I would consider for my research paper. I would then want to spend time applying the other evaluation criteria to both of these sources, but I can see that both sources are relevant to my specific research topic and help me to fill in both background information on the Second Amendment as well as specific information regarding the gun laws that focus on assault weapons.